Hey, good morning, everybody. Microphone's closer to me this morning. Lost my voice. With it said, the show must go on. So let's remember why I'm here. I'm here to help you in this difficult market. So I made a posting over the weekend where I explained if you have $1,000, and I got a lot of shit for this one. So let me explain. If you have $1,000 and you're looking to increase your return, so you want to trade 30 consecutive trades that are successful. Now people say, well, that's fucking impossible. You can't do that shit. It just won't work. Here's what you do. First, you show patience, and I'm going to tell you what the outcome is. The outcome is great big bag of money. All right. So patience, what does that mean? It means you're looking at the SPY or you're looking at the SPX and you're waiting for it to either bottom or top. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to get in early on the day. You're waiting patiently for the perfect entry. Then what does that mean? It means I'm looking at puts, let's say. So I'm waiting for the SPY, which is negative, to spike. When it spikes, I say, no, let that show me the direction. Let me show that. Show me today's range. So I'm going to wait to see how the range of the SPY plays out. And I'm going to talk about the SPY range today. But here's how I'm going to trade it. I'm going to wait to see when I see rejection or when I see support once or twice or three times. I'm going to say to myself, okay, getting into options. So when I get into the options, and let's say I'm looking at an option that expires tomorrow because I don't want to put myself in jeopardy today. Let's say I look at the one going out tomorrow, so I'll pay the extra money. I'm getting in at, let's say, $80 an option. That's what the bid and the ask is 81 because we know when we trade the SPY, it's always 1 cent or $1 apart. So 80 and 81. I say to myself, okay, I always try and call, the right time to enter, but I'm always off 11% on entry. That's just how it is. I know how I trade. So I'm going to say to myself, as I was willing to pay $81 a contract, I'm going to take off 10%. So I'm going to put in my bid at $73. Okay. And that's it. I wait. All of a sudden, my phone beeps at me and it says, dude, you just got the contracts that you bought, 10 of them at $73. Now, I talk about I want to make 12% a day. I can take a little more. So I looked at the chart and I said, you know what? I'm in at 73. I'm going to get out at 87. Okay. 14 cents. That's it. That's about 18%. So what do I do as soon as I buy the contract? All right. Of course, I hope I'm going to be instantaneously right and it'll be worth more when I sell it. But I'm going to put in my sell order 10 contracts, 87 cents. And then I'm going to say, no, I'm going to nibble a little. I'm going to go for 88 cents, right? I added $1. That's it. 10 contracts, $10, but it adds up. And I'm going to explain how. So I make a successful trade, all right? When we get in at the wrong point, meaning if I didn't save 10 or 11% on the way in, I would have to ask for $1 on the way out. So the fact that I got better entry because I know that when I purchase a trade, it starts out down 11%. So rather than paying whatever the amount is, bid and ask, I'm going to underbid by 11%. As soon as I get that trade executed, I'm going to put into sell at whatever it is, 12%, 15, 18, 20. In this case, I determined my hypothetical case, I determined $87. And I said, no, let me nibble. Let me get 88 or 89. Okay. So I put it in, boom, gets done. I'm done trading for the day. I just made somewhere between 16 and 17%. Remember, I was only shooting for 12%. Now, why is 12% important? Because if you show patience, let's say I do the same thing tomorrow, but I don't trade tomorrow because I couldn't find entry. So be it. Do it on Wednesday. Successful again. You do that 30 straight trading days, right? Not 30 consecutive days because we have weekends and you don't have to trade every day, but 30 straight trading days. You make 12%. Now, if somebody said to me, dude, Madoff was a Ponzi scheme. He couldn't even make 12% in a day. Madoff didn't trade options for his accounts. We are trading options. We're trading a portion of what our net worth is. You're trading $1,000. Maybe you're worth 100,000. Maybe you have a house you're worth 250. Who cares? Point is, you have $1,000. You make 30 consecutive trading days, right? With 12%, at least 12% gains. That $1,000 is going to turn into 29,000 plus. Again, so you're saying, how is that freaking possible? 12%, 12%, 360%. No, when you compound small piles, it turns into good amounts of money. All right. With that said, that's your trading tip of the day. That's how I'm going to trade. Here's my problem. I get into trades, I don't hold the good ones long enough, and I'll mention it. So when we get into weekly trades, the ones that expire at the end of the week, if you're in a bearish position and you think the stock is going down, Why are you taking profit on Tuesday or Wednesday? I'll give you an example. Ulta Beauty, right? I got in at $541 ULTA. It shot up to 553. I'm in puts. My puts are down 50%. This morning it's at $520. Point is, my puts, I think I sold them when it was like 525. I made 60%. I said I was looking for 100%. They went to 100%, and I still would have had 5 more days. And again, if the market gets beat up, and this is all leading into what I'm seeing in the SPY today, okay? If the market gets beat up, that's not going to be 500. Those options can be worth $3,500 each when I paid 600 each. 600, they went down to 300, right? So 3,500. So again, when you're buying out to a certain date, understand the reason you're buying out to that date. If I was in some puts last week, which I was, NVIDIA puts that expired Friday, I did very good. I took the bottom of NVIDIA at 265 and I got out and I was happy. But with the Ulta Beauty puts, they went out another week. I just want to check out Ulta Beauty. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about where I see the market going today and why. Okay, it hasn't changed pre-market. So let's talk about some news over the weekend and where the SPY could potentially go. First thing I did is over the weekend, looking at the chart, I dropped myself a note that the SPY could easily run to 422 before dropping to 380. That's if we have another bullish run right before CPI. Not saying it's going to 422 today, but understand we're at 409, 3% higher is 422. We might have a run up into CPI. What would I do? I would fade any run up because I'm still a bear. All right. Why else am I a bear? Well, okay. So of the companies that reported earnings so far, we have 18 companies out of 500 that reported earnings, right? Together, cumulative, they're showing a sales growth of 3.59%. Their earnings growth is negative 26%. Holy shit. Companies are coming back with bad earnings. Who could have thought? Me, when I told you 3 months ago that companies are going to start coming out with bad earnings and that we are headed to recession. So those are all sectors. I've got materials highlighted here. 0 materials companies reported so far. What's the expectations for this week? Okay. We've got CPI on Wednesday. Understand the last CPI number was 6%. The estimate for Wednesday is 5.2. So how do we play that information? Well, if you're watching the market and we come in hot at 5.5, 5.4%, shit, the market's going down and it's going down hard. If we come in line at 5.2%, what's likely to happen? Market's likely to pop and then drop. If we come in cool at 5%, let's say, what's likely to happen? The market's likely to go up. That's it. If we come in cooler than 5.2 and we last month was 6%, yeah, it's going to tell me Fed's doing its job. Maybe they could pivot or something like that. So very important numbers on Wednesday. I could see a run up to Wednesday's number or I could see a drop. Either one makes sense. Something I noticed, this John B. Trades guy on Twitter, I don't know if anybody follows him, but Apple, Amazon, NVIDIA, Microsoft, all at huge resistance supply levels on the weekly chart. All right, so all these are big tech companies. Again, I mentioned to Discord last week that Microsoft had a ton of call options written or purchased on Friday at the 305 expiration for this week. There were also a number of put options written by institutions, 1.5 million, for the Qs at 327. We're far away from the Qs at 327. All right, so again, Apple, Amazon, NVIDIA, Microsoft, you can follow the Qs. You can follow technology. If technology has a rough couple of days, you know that it's going to continue. Technology has a rough day today. Guess what? Tomorrow, technology is going to have the same rough day. Apple, Amazon, NVIDIA, Microsoft. So see what happens today. Don't get overly anxious. It's Monday. I've got to trade. I'm a day trader. No, I'm a profitable trader. What does that mean? It means I'm waiting on my damn good entry. I already mentioned in the beginning of the video how I was planning on trading today. So if you want to see that, go back, check it out. What else? Okay, SPY, dark pool levels. How do we check out dark pool levels? Well, we go on Discord. We check out dark pool levels. So SPY, dark pool levels, money exchanged, 1.8 billion was reported off exchange at 409.21. So the fact that we closed at 409.19 makes sense. Again, 900 million additionally, 409.19. How the hell do they know? So what would I do? Let me pull up Discord. Let me stop this sharing the screen. And let's talk about the dark pool levels because dark pools are very important to show you resistance or support. So bear with me when I get Discord up. Let's share it. Boom. Let's make sure I did it correctly. Add it to the stream. There you go. Okay, you all can see that hopefully. What am I going to go? Flow and algos room. What am I going to type in? Well, we'll type in the dark pool levels for the SPY. And I'm going to tell you why this is so important, especially today, because if you haven't seen, this line right here just grew substantially. 408.49. Okay. 408.49. Why is that number so important? Because that number at what's the amount we're at? 22, almost 23 billion, which has grown from 14 to 16 to 18 to 23, is telling you this is either going to be supply or demand. What the hell is this guy talking about? If it is supply, it means that people are willing to sell institutions at 408.49. So the fact that we're sitting pre-market at 407.06, if we make it back, or when we make it back to 408.49 plus or minus 20 cents, you could see institutions unload. So 408.29 becomes the cap. Understand, we reject that once or twice today. I'm hopping in puts at that number. All right, that's what it makes sense. It's the same way if you look at it, and we'll go on to that. There's no real dark pool level at 405.92. So the fact that we're sitting at 407.09 pre-market, if we make it to that next level, 405.92, and we do not bounce higher, then understand you will see 403.36 today. All right. So people are saying, how do I know when the bottom is? I don't want to catch a falling knife. I'm sharing with you. You go on, you look at dark pool levels. This same is true for your stocks. So understand that. Now, I see someone says, hey, gap downs are good chances to buy if you want to get long. Yeah, if you want to get long like years out, a month out, 12 months, you're buying stock and you find a good entry, more power to you. If you do your research on the stock and you're like, I know Disney's going to be $150 come sometime this year. Yeah, I understand that. And I won't say 150, but I'd say Disney will probably be in the 130 range. She'll probably get 30%. Even if the market is somewhat hesitant, or even if it goes down, Disney is likely to accumulate with these large institutions, these hedge funds, people like that. All right. So what else do we want to talk about this morning? We will get to the SPY ranges today. And we know I've been pretty on fire with support, resistance. All right. I mentioned earnings earlier. So Apple, Wall Street now sees Apple's revenue declining by 4% in March and 1% for the entire year. This is Apple. This is the number one player in tech, the number one player. When you go with the makeup of the SPY, I think it has 7%. So as Apple goes down, you multiply it out as its weighted averages, it brings down the market. So when Apple's going down and the market's going down, guess what? Your stocks are likely to follow. I don't care if you're an Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, whatever that is. Now, contrary to that, I did see some people saying, I'm going to take some flyer YOLO calls on Tesla because it's never dropped 5 straight days in a row, all the way back to October of like 2022. It hasn't had days like that. And in October 2022, I think it dropped to 110. So people are saying, yo, I'm going to YOLO Tesla calls. And just like G-Man said, gap downs are good to buy. So a lot of people still understand or follow that principle. I'm buying every dip. I'm buying every dip. Me, since I'm a bear in this market, I'm buying puts on every spike. Not every spike, because I'm a trader and I want to be profitable. So what am I doing? I'm waiting to see resistance. How do I find resistance? I don't know. Maybe you go to the dark pool level and look at where the SPY has either support or resistance right here at 408.49 plus or minus 20 cents. Huge shelf volume. Is it demand? Meaning, will we bounce higher off this level, or will it act as resistance? Meaning, we bounce lower off this level. We reject this level, 408.49. If we reject this level, we go down to the next level, 406. Guess what? Very little volume here. So if we make it past 406 on the way down, what are you going to see? 403.36. All right. Say it continues to sell off heading into CPI. Where is the next real support? 395. So if you saw my posting over the weekend, I think it was on Webull, I asked people, hey, what do you think is coming next? 422, because that's the next route up, or 395, which is the next route down. All right, so that was Apple. And we did just talk about some of the SPY ranges. Again, this are longer term, let's say a week out, okay? Sometime later this week, especially with CPI numbers dropping on Wednesday, you're saying if I'm a bear, then I'm looking for 395. I'm looking for the SPY to go down to 395. If I'm a bull, then I'm looking for 422 on the upside, because volume is light and all the way to 422. Here's the interesting thing. Horrible credit numbers came out Friday for the month of March. The biggest 2-week decline in bank lending in a long, long time. What does that mean? If banks aren't lending money, who's going to struggle? Small business. What's going to happen with small business when they struggle? It works its way up the food chain. Those same small businesses that were purchasing new computers from Apple or IBM or chips from Intel are going to purchase less. All right, there you go. So we head into recession. All right, now I've got a bunch of pictures of my kids. I took them to the carnival yesterday. That is why I lost my voice. Key events this week: CPI Wednesday, Fed minutes on Wednesday. Does that mean the Fed's talking on Wednesday? No. It means they're dropping the minutes or the notes, right, from their last meeting. And people like to analyze that and read into the notes and see what the Fed is speaking. Okay. Then we have PPI, right? PPI on Thursday. So we have CPI Wednesday, PPI Thursday, consumer sentiment Friday, retail sales Friday, retail sales. Holy shit. Macy's, Gap. Well, let's remember what happened to Macy's and the Gap last time they reported earnings, okay? Not very good. And we have 4 Fed speakers this week. All right, so let's see what we got here. How do I sign up for your Discord to get the dark pool levels? Yes, I think somebody underneath showed you. So yeah, like I said, you can get the dark pool levels for every single stock you want. Microsoft, Tesla. Now, here's what I also suggested on Friday. Again, here's our link. You don't want to get into options that have zero volume. If you're getting to options, only 3 contracts are traded, and you're looking to buy 3 contracts on the day, only 3 are traded, you're going to pay the ask. And the ask and the bid, usually there's a wide range when there's low volume. Because, yeah. Okay, so please, let's understand that. Okay, what happened here? I bought $4 calls in the VIX over 3 weeks, and Thursday I usually play puts in the VIX, so with CBI coming in VIX under 19, I took a shot. What are my thoughts? Well, let's remember, I got into VIX calls, I think it was like $18. Because yes, when the VIX goes under 20, it generally goes back above 20. I don't want to look at the VIX yet. Let's look at the VIX. Why not? I stay away from the UVXY. I find that's more manipulated than the VIX. I know VIX options, there's a larger gap between the spread and the bid and the ask. But I like to play on the VIX. So let's see where the VIX is right now. 1840. Yeah. So, but if we look at the 5-day chart, what do we get? We got some pretty damn good spikes. Now, again, because I'm bearish and I'm trading without emotion, I understand the market could run up to CPI. The same gentleman that said gap downs are good to buy, it might last for the short run. Short run meaning we're leading into CPI and PPI. If those numbers come out, cool, and the market likes that, the market's going to explode. We're going to see 430 on the SPY. And those calls on the UVXY are going to be down. The VIX will be at 16 or 15. Again, we haven't seen that in a really long time. I mean, let's go back 3 months. What do you see? This is kind of the bottom for the VIX, right? You see the orange dotted line. And even if you don't think it's going to hold true, let's go back to the 1 year. Again, the 1 year tells you that, again, I mean, I'm a bear. What am I going to say? I think we're going on to 395 next step. I can't imagine CPI numbers coming in cool. But what else did I want to talk about this morning? I knew that would happen. I'd lose my pictures. Now I got to go through all the carnival pictures again to get exactly where I was on. All right. Yeah. So I've got my chart that I drew out over the weekend. It would not have surprised me if the SPY went and bumped before we got CPI and PPI. Now let's remember, when Wednesday comes, don't get fooled. We usually see a spike in the market, a dip, another spike, another dip. There's usually times you get in and out of your positions. If you're in puts and you're seeing the market spike and you sell your puts at the top, you're taking the biggest L you could take, and vice versa. You see the market drop, you're like, oh shit, I'm in calls. What the F am I supposed to do? And you sell them, you take the biggest loss. And meanwhile, you see a spike back up. So anticipate both a lot of volatility. Fed's forecasting, I mentioned 5.2. It's got updates on core PCI. It's also looking like it's going to come down. PCE, core CPI. So we'll see how that plays out. This is the comment I made to start the show. Invest $1,000. What's the ending balance? Close to $30,000. How do you do that? You make 30 consecutive trades. You don't have to trade every day. Where you make 12% of your trade. I already explained how to do that. You must make sure you're watching patiently, and you're waiting for SPY puts to start bottoming out. Once you see them bottom out, because the market's rejecting the top, you say, okay, $87 is a good number to get in. If I'm in at $87, I want to make 12%. Figure it out. It's about $13. I'm going to sell it for $1 straight, $100 straight. I'm going to nibble. Remember my nibble lesson? I'm going to add $1 or $2 onto that. Now I'm at 87. I'm going to sell for 102. I'm going to take profit. That's it. I'm done. What am I going to do? My account with $1,000 is now worth $1,120 or more. Okay. Then I say to myself, okay, what do I want to make the next time I trade? I want to make 12%. Do the math on that. It's going to be $132. So the next trading day, I want my account to grow from 1120 to 1252. But I'm only looking for $132 profit. If that comes from an investment of $400 into one or two calls or puts, so be it. If my calls or puts drop and I have to average down because I know I'm going to be correct, so be it. I will do that. I'm just looking for 12%. That's it. If I average down and I end up selling for what I bought it at originally, that's fine because I averaged down. I made my 12% that way. So there are multiple ways. When people say, well, then you got to put your whole account into that trade. No, you find a trade that you like. You start out small, 1, 2 contracts. It doesn't change in principle. You make your money up, secured profit, boom. I secured 60% on 2 contracts. Guess what? Overall for your account, that might be a 12% move higher. So that's what you got to do. Here it is. We have this on our Discord as well. You can put on your initial amount. Let's just say you're investing $500. Change it to 500. Let's say you want to make 8% a day. Change it to 8. How many days? Okay, you want to do it 50 straight days. So you increase 50. You're reinvesting it. Yes, including the weekends. No, that is how you get the results. All right. That is simple as that. You put it in. We've got the calculator for you. You should use it. It's pinned. It's pinned under Trader Chat. So look at all the pins under Trader Chat. We only pin the good shit that's going to help improve your trading. Here's one from Trading Ticks. Trading Ticks is the white glove that we use for all of our algos and flows. Microsoft is another ticker that dealers, deltas are slowly turning from very bullish to bullish or neutral. What does that mean? That means bearish sentiment is taking over. So even though all those calls are written at 305, if I get any pop in Microsoft, I'm going to buy puts. That's it. Simple as that. All right, here we go. U.S. bank loans leases fell by $45 billion in the week that ended last week. U.S. deposits fell by $64 billion in the week that ended last week. Holy shit. That is so crazy. Yeah, you got to sign up for Discord. You hit the sign up button. You verify yourself, and then you look at the flow and algos room. Okay, right above the flow and algos room, we have the directions on how to use the room because you could look up so many different commands. You could look at the top flow. All right, but you please read the direct. I mean, you're signing up. You're putting effort into it. This is what we did yesterday. I did all my homework. I was looking at all my stocks, potential highs, potential lows, what would be good entries. And when I say all, I'm only looking at 3. I'm looking at NVIDIA because I've been crushing NVIDIA puts lately, right? And I look at a couple other puts because, again, I'm a bear on this market. All right, Fredo, thoughts on Amazon? I don't know. What would I do? Shit. Thoughts on Amazon? Let's pull up Discord. Let's see where Amazon could go. All right, so first off, what I want to do, I don't know. Let's look at the net flow for Amazon. See how the markets take on Amazon. What do we see? Well, we see the white line indicates price. See the red line indicates the net premiums for puts and the net premiums for calls. And here's your zero line. So what are you seeing? All right, calls going down, puts staying very elevated, meaning to me, bearish. What would I do? I'm going to look at the dark pool levels for Amazon. DP levels, Amazon. See what we got here. All right. So I don't even know where Amazon is right now. Let's pull up Amazon, the price. Boom, boom. AMZN. Amazon. All right. 102.06 down a little pre-market. So 102.06. So what am I looking at? Let's just make sure I shared this with you all. You can see it. Perfect. All right. So 102.06 and then 101.20 where we're sitting now. Well, 102.06. Oh, that's where we closed. What a freaking shock. We closed right on one of the dark pool levels. Now, everybody else watching saying, I don't use dark pool levels is going, holy shit. The SPY closed right on the dark pool level, 409.19. 900 million exchanged that. Amazon, 102.06, 102.05. There's 1.66 billion. So what's the next level down if we go down? Well, $1 billion worth, 101.19. Holy shit, where are we this morning as we sit pre-market? Where do you guys think? 101.20. We're off by a penny. So if Amazon bounces, it could bounce off this number right here and go back to the 102 where we close. So you're looking to at Amazon, you're saying it's red. If I see it go flat or green, I can get bullish on it. Why? Because you can get bullish and right up to 102, which is a pretty small level here, up to 103. So if I'm going to get calls on Amazon, I'm going to wait to see find support 101.19. If it finds support here, I'm in at 101, let's say 30, okay? I can ride it up to 103. It's $1.70 higher, okay? If this number rejects 101.19 and we get here and we reject 102.05 and we're back down to 101.19, what do I think is happening? I think we're probably going to revisit this level, right? This is a pretty large level, 1.49 billion, talking about $100.33. So again, what would I think? Yeah, I think Amazon's probably going to touch $100.33 at some point today. So how would I trade that? Well, if I get a spike on open, I'm buying puts. Now it's Monday, okay? Market's opening. I don't know which direction the market wants to take. I'm a freaking bear. However, the market gapped down. So what's likely to happen? All right, I mean, literally what's likely to happen is just from the psychology of it all, the psychology of the market, people aren't going to believe we're just going to fall out of the sky and drop down. The market's already sold off. What's probably going to happen is market's going to open. When the market opens, it's probably going to go like this and bounce higher. All right. Probably for the first 20 minutes or so. You might see a quick drop, right? But it's going to bounce higher. When I see rejection, that is when I'm going to look to get in. So I know I'm going to see it today. And I'll tell you exact points that I'm looking at. Let's bring up the SPY again, which we did to start this presentation when I was talking about the numbers and how to trade it and what I was looking to do today. All right, so let's bring up the SPY. Let me make my way over to the SPY page. Let's get rid of this advertisement. We're sitting at 406.90. What am I going to do? Well, I'm only back here. I'm going to go back to the 1 week chart. Why? Because the 1 week chart, if we are on our way down, where could we bottom? Okay, so you're looking at this number right here, 380, 381. Okay, that's the number we just ran up from. But let's not go back to the 1 week. Let's go to about a 3-hour chart. And let's just see where we are here. Because again, we're at the top of the spectrum right here, 406.80. Where are we this morning? 406.90. So again, the lower level that I mentioned previous is in play. Now, if we sell off and have bad CPI numbers and bad PPI numbers, where are we going? Okay, I'd say right about here, 391, 392. Remember, we saw support at 392.50. So again, here's a strategy. Anybody that wants to buy puts out this week and you think the market's going to drop and you think CPI and PPI are going to come in hot, we're probably going to drop to 392. So what would I likely do? If I'm buying out till Friday, I might actually look at the 390 puts if I'm going to be a bear. Why? Because they're so far out of the money that they're going to be cheap. Let's just see how much they are. Why not? Share that information. Options. Let's go out to Friday. Where's Friday? Boom. Man, there's so many. Today's 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Here we go. 4 days out. I guess maybe there's no trading Friday. I'm 4 days out. All right, so I'm going to look at puts. And I'm going to go look at the 390s, which are far out of the money. Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. They are $17 each, 17 cents each, okay? So those with small accounts that don't want to exert a lot of money, what would I do? Would I get into them right at market open? Hell no. I'm looking for some type of bounce and rejection. When I see rejection, these same options might be $14 a contract. And I'm not looking for them to be in the money, but if you see the SPY off CPI and PPI numbers, again, this is your bear case scenario, drop to 395. Guess what? Those 390 puts, which were far out of the money, and you only paid $14 a contract, are going to be worth somewhere in the range of $86 to $90 a contract. You're in at 14, you sell for 86. That's a 6x return, 600%. So those of us with small accounts, again, that differs from how I mentioned trading earlier. Trading earlier, I was talking about just securing 12% a day or, for my account. So again, go back, watch it, different ways you could trade. If you don't have time to day trade every day, but you have a theory or a philosophy on the market, great. You're buying those puts at 390 and you're looking at 6x it. If you're bullish, right? And we'll do the same scenario. You're bullish and you're like, man, SPY 430. Those numbers are coming in cool. And let's just go back. Let's go back to 1 week chart, okay? We're seeing 1 week is probably too much. So let's go to the 1 day chart. Let's go back here. Nope, that's not enough. All right, so I guess we'll go to the 1 week. 1 week chart. I'm looking back in August and I'm seeing we rejected 430, right? 429, 50, 430. So understand that's what I'm looking for rejection again. So if you want to give my bull case scenario, my bull case scenario is we're sitting at 406. We're going to run up 6% before we come back down. Again, I don't think that's going to happen because I'm a freaking bear. But if I wasn't a bear and I'm just looking at the market and the charts, what would I think? I would think 430 is a possible bull case scenario. If they're buying the dips, then the market's going up to 430. Yeah, no, market's open Friday, of course. I know. Listen, I've had a long week. I'm still playing nurse, losing my voice, kids to the fair. I'm just trying to help. All right, so let's just look at some stocks. All right, let's talk about the SPY today. Let's look at the SPY level from Friday, 409.50 on the high. I already mentioned the key level I'm looking at, 409.20 plus or minus 30 cents. What does that tell you? 409.50. So 409.50, if we're in a bear or whatever day it is, I'm looking for us to reject that point. If I see us reject 409.50 and even the other dark pool level of the SPY, which I mentioned, shit, I just did something bad. Oh my God, I just moved something around in my computer. Okay, I'll get back there. Don't worry. Here we go. SPY levels for, where is it? All right, here we go. SPY level. All right, so it's 408.49, really has a large 22.7 billion. So again, I'm looking at these key levels. 408.30, okay? On the top side above that, 409.50, which I would expect for rejection if we get there. Then on the way down, you're looking at 406 flat. Now again, pre-market, where are we on the SPY? 406.81. So again, I'm looking at 409, 408.29, 408.30. We reject that. We don't even get to 409.50. Nothing to worry about. I know we're going down. Okay. We find support at that level. Boom. We go to 409.50. We see 410. 410. I haven't made a trade yet. SPY is 410. What am I going to say to myself? Well, we broke through support levels. We're going higher. We're going to 411. And then I'll look for rejection. Again, that's why you have to show patience. If you're entering at market open, whatever the options are, you're just screwing yourself. You enter at market open, you're paying too much for the options. Now, the one way you can enter at market open because of the volatility, you have a position in your mind. I'm buying an option that ends on Friday. I'm sure the stock is going lower. You see that the option closed at $1. You see that the stock is flat this morning. You say to yourself, okay, I'm looking for a spike or a dip. I'm going to underbid the current closing price by 20%. So although your option is going to open at $1, the one you want to buy $100 per contract, you're putting in for $80. In fact, you're going to nibble. You'll put in for $78, right? I don't care what contract it is. You put in the buy order at $78. Market opens, bum, 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 bum. Guess what? You just got it at 78. The same contract you were going to pay $1 per contract at market open, you just got for $78. So I'm not saying it's going to be a good or bad trade, but guess what? You just saved 22% on the way in. So again, these are just tips to help you. When I speak about what I do or how I trade, it's to improve your trading. It doesn't mean you have to trade NVIDIA or Amazon that we looked at for Fredo or the SPY, which I keep talking about. You come up with your own strategies. You just use the knowledge and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going out 2 weeks. I'm going to nibble on the way in. I understand if the market runs hot and runs bullish and I'm in puts, I'm going to take my loss. I'll use a stop loss. If the market turns bearish and I'm in puts and I'm 2 weeks out, Matt already gave his example of Ultra Beauty and he should have held his puts longer. So he's going to say, okay, I'll hold my puts another week. I'll hold them till next week. I know I'm up 100%, but let me hold them next week. Wow, I'm up 250% or something to that extent. I mean, I keep avoiding Ultra Beauty. Let's see where it is. $519. Again, it was at 541 when I got in puts. It went up to 553. I didn't average down. I was down 50%. I went from down 50% to up 100%. But again, I sold way too soon. My contracts would be worth $1,500 this morning. I was in at 675, so I'd be up over 100%. And that's without the time added. Time added bonus, probably $16 or $17. It's crazy. All right. Lost my voice. Don't know how I went on for 35 minutes. Appreciate you that joined me. Please thumbs up if you like what I do, and join me tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, 8:25, because we're going to be dropping CPI numbers. Maybe the same for Thursday when we drop PPI. So please join me. Hopefully, Romeo will be doing some live trading on our Discord. Everybody's welcome to join. Should be a link below. See y'all later.